Have you ever heard people crying out for justice? It's a beautiful thing, isn't it? They want justice. Good for them. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for justice. You want justice. But what kind of justice? And justice for who? I'm sure you've seen those people on the streets. No justice, no peace. All of the liberals and all of the George Floyd avengers. Well, justice. Yes, you're right, absolutely. Wonderful thing, justice. We need to get vengeance. We need to put those criminals behind bars. Yes, absolutely. I just wonder, do you actually mean that? Do you actually want justice? Oh, yes, we want justice. Justice for those evil people who killed George Floyd, racist cops. Oh, yes, justice, all those racist cops. Who else? Well, Trump, yes, justice. Trump is an evil man. And Bibi too, yes, justice. Bibi, crime minister, yes. And anyone else who disagrees with me and what I say, yes, they're evil men. Oh, yes, okay. So you want justice for all of these evil men, right? Trump and racist cops and Bibi, and you want justice. I just wonder, what about you? Oh? Me? Well, you said you want justice. Justice is a double-edged sword. Justice does not show impartiality. Justice is just. Since you're hungry for justice, you want to open up the books and take everyone to court. If you're so hungry for justice, well, what about you? Should we come and get you? Are you going to voluntarily just turn yourself in, or do we need to come and pick you up since you're so hungry for justice? Justice is a double-edged sword, isn't it? Because, truth be told, everybody's guilty of something. And it's a wonderful thing to want justice, but I just wonder, are you prepared for what that implies? Now, surely, each violation will be judged accordingly, some way more than others. Some are a violation in man's court, some are a violation in God's court. But if you want justice, you have to be prepared for it. So what I claim and what I say is that you don't want justice. You just want vengeance on those who don't get along with you. That's really what it is. So quick to throw Trump under the bus and Bibi and all these other men who are flawed. Well, of course they're flawed. They're human beings. It comes with the territory, as they say. And so are you. Now, I'm not saying that anyone who commits a crime should not go to jail. No, they absolutely should. According to their crime, each man according to his own conduct. But why are you so bent on this vigilante parade? Did they sin against you? Personally? Did they rape your daughter? Did they kill your son? Why are you so bent on this alleged justice? And you should, like I said, advocate for justice. But what are you doing to ensure that when justice does come around, you're not gonna get some of it in your face? See, God's justice is much greater than man, in more ways than one. For starters, God's justice knows everything you've done. Every single thing. None of it is off the record. None of it is hidden under the carpet. And that should put the fear of God in you. When you understand everything you've done since you were a little boy or a girl, everything's recorded. Why, that was 40 years ago. Doesn't matter. There's no, what you call that law of outdating, whatever. Like they did for Trump. That was something I did 60 years ago. Whatever, I'm not too familiar with the case, but you understand what I'm telling you. Don't go saying that was 40, 20, 30 years ago. You done it. And we know you've been naughty, especially when you were a young adult and teenager, not to mention a little boy. Boys are mischievous. So if you want justice, well, you gotta pay the price for all of these things, all of those candies you stole and all of the trickery, all of those practical jokes that left people wounded, and whatever you've done. Kids do all kind of things, not to mention teenagers. So what's my point? My point is that even though God's justice is much greater, He's also much more merciful. See, with the Lord, you can get a pardon as long as you turn your life around and stop doing the things. You atone, you repent, you change your ways. Yes, I've done this when I was a kid. Yes, I've done this when I was an adult. But I have turned myself around and now I'm a law-abiding citizen. Not just one law, but all the law, as much as I can. Still falling short every now and then, but my heart is fixed on the righteous conduct according to the sight of my God. And that is where righteousness truly comes from. You trust in the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. Doesn't have to be a Christian or a Jew or any other religion. The creator of heaven and earth is not a figment of a religion. And every man, whether they ever heard of such religions, have a measure of righteousness in their heart. We all know. You're born with it. It's called your conscience. You do something wrong, it pricks you. That is, unless you've already sealed that conscience with a hot iron rod and you no longer have one. That's how most liberals are. They have no sense of right and wrong, which is how they can be so vigilanteous, calling for justice on everyone else but themselves, and they are the worst of them all. They murder their own babies in their wombs, and yet they dare call anyone else a murderer. It's ridiculous, the things you do. But since you want justice, justice will be served and you are guilty. And now you're going to have to pay the price. So here's what I recommend that you do. Now that you know justice is coming for you, you better get some brownie points, as they say, get some good credits under your belt. Now that you know that you will get what you'd so desired, start doing what is just and right, that you might receive your just reward for being just and right. Rather than finding out at the end of your life that you are lacking and that your bad outweighs the good and that you should have repented. You should have feared your Maker and done what is just and right in His sight. You should have fed the poor, should have clothed the naked, should have humbled your heart, not turn away the needy, especially the holy ones. If you're gonna turn someone away, turn away that serial killer, turn away the worldly people who want money for drugs and gambling. Never turn away a righteous man who wants money to do God's work, which is to feed and to clothe and to care for and to do good works. Never turn away someone who asks for that. I know family members in Israel, they always brag about how they get so many phone calls from all these rabbis and they always block their numbers. I got a phone call from this rabbi, I blocked his number. And then they say, they always find another way to contact me. And I'm thinking, I didn't say that because I know who they are, but I'm thinking, well, That's going to be in your judgment. The Lord's going to say, I sent all of these different people, so that you could have a chance to express your grace and your mercy and your generosity, and you've turned everyone away and blocked their numbers so that they could not contact you again. It's fine if you block one or two because of a specific, you don't like them, they're evil, they're greedy, whatever. But you've blocked every single one. You did not give to anyone. Now nobody's going to give to you. That's justice, is it not? You gave to nobody. Why should anyone give to you? Think about these things. Is that not just? Can you complain about this verdict? So look in the mirror. And before you seek justice, ask yourself, am I going to come on top of this? And if not, you better stop asking for justice and start doing justice. Between you and your God and between you and your fellow man. Do what is just and right. Because to whom much is given, much is required. You have something to give. And unless you give that to someone else who requires it, you're going to find out soon enough, when you require, none will be given to you.